Greetings, everyone. The people have spoken. We have M19 returning to MTG Arena, and we're going to draft it because the people said so. This is a whatever core set as far as I'm concerned. It's not bad, but it's not an all-timer as far as I'm concerned. As far as core set draft goes, my favorite core set draft experience is really M20 and M13. I think are my favorite core set draft experiences. This is somewhere in the middle, but it's fine. It'll be fun. There are some synergies. I forget exactly what they are, but I know we'll dive in and figure it out together, right? I think I remember there's like, oh, this has some dual lands in the land slot sometimes. M20 definitely had that. I feel like this had it too. I just feel like one of the decks I ended up a lot in this format was 5-color good stuff. So yeah, Heart Piercer is the M20, but this has some synergies like, oh, there's like hexproof that you can put the unblockable aura on. There's some combos like that in here. Let's see. All right, anyway, I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom, before I do. As I let you all know yesterday, they are currently, we are on a like 2-week shutdown of operations of that type in Washington, in the Seattle area and everything. So right now, you cannot purchase from my favorite online retailer of Magic stuff, Card Kingdom. But you can check them out. If you have never visited their site before, you can still pop in, give a clicky wave, and see what they've got going on there. I know they are waiting to get back to work and deliver the high quality service and cards and selection that you come to expect. So thank you, Card Kingdom. Hang in there, everybody, and we'll get through this together. And that goes for this draft as well. Let's see what we got. Pack one, pick one. This, I believe, is unplayable. Fraying Omnipotence, 3 black. Each player loses half their life, then discards half the cards in their hand, then sacrifices half the creatures they control, round up each time. I don't know what kind of constructed concoction you could come up with to make this do something important, but it is stone unplayable and limited. Or nothing's unplayable. It's not going to get you the value you want in limited. Skymarch Bloodletter. Okay, now I'm starting to remember. One of the strong archetypes in the format is white-black life gain. This is a fine little common to support vampire life gain. Novice Knight. This is another thing going on here. Enchantments and equipment are pretty heavy in the set. You know, you got a Marauder's Axe or whatever. Skilled Animator. Let's read that. When it enters the battlefield, target artifact you control becomes artifact creature with base power and toughness 5/5 for as long as it remains on the battlefield. Boy, at 2 mana, I'm all over this because then, hey, I mean, obviously 2 mana is too good for like constructed. You could just go turn 1 random artifact, turn 0, turn 2, animate it, which is a little strong, but obviously this is unplayable without an artifact, so it's definitely a build around, and I don't know if I want to start. I mean, build around is a reasonable place to start, I suppose. But yeah, we also have Starcrown Stag. Oh, this is also, in speaking of reminders, as I'm coming around to what was good about this format and what was good in this set. Robert says Stag doesn't suck. Specifically, I think the best deck in the format was Boros aggro, and the reason why is there are 4 or 5. I think there are 4 common effects and 1 uncommon effect that pump your whole team at common and uncommon in red and white, and there's no like as I recall, there's nothing that's like really punishes token strategies, right? Like you can make a bunch of go wide tokens, and there's not like one spell that's going to pick them all off. So Boros is definitely a good place to hedge in the format. I am leaning now as I reconnect with this format and what's good about it. I think I do want to start with the Stag here. The aggro is real, and I think red red-white aggro is like the best deck, and black-white life gain is one of the other good ones. So starting with a white card really connects those two strategies well. So I like that this is a pivot card for two of my, as I recall, two of the better decks in the format. Are we rewarded? I think so. I remember this being okay, or certainly build-aroundable. Lena, Selfless Champion, 4 white, white for a 3/3. When she enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each non-token creature you control. And you can sacrifice her to creatures you control with power less than hers to gain indestructible. So, good, certainly good enough. Especially over what I'm seeing here. Like, let's see what else we're looking at. And there's not, this is a real deck, by the way. If you want to try this in the format, you can pick up a couple of these. It's real. But we'll just go with the rare. Matches our stag, and produces the go wide that I think is so powerful. Yeah, what did the bot take? Some powerful uncommon? The bots have color preferences, and Lena is not a super bomb, so it totally makes sense to me that if you give bot a color preference away from white and towards something else, that they would lean to a powerful uncommon in that color. Talked about auras and equipment being a thing in this set. Here's one of them if you're in the green decks. Sometimes you can just get bigger than your opponent can handle. Detection Tower. Not really worth it in limited, not doing anything for us here. Again, I want to go into white-black or white-red if I can, but white-black is a reasonable backup plan. So Bloodletter here makes some sense. And Divination is also calling to me, but I think black-white is more powerful in the format. So I'm going to grab the Bloodletter and see what happens from here. Revitalize is a sneakily good card in the life gain payoff deck. We don't have any life gain payoffs yet, but there is that. Rock's Oracle, fine dude, you know. 5 mana is a lot for a 4/2, but it has those magical 3 words on it that we love so much. Draw a card. Rock's Oracle was known as the pizza delivery man. He's bringing you a fine-looking cheese pie. And so what do we want to do here, though? Hired Blade, Flash, 3/2. A lot of boring stuff in our starting color. We could take starting these black-white. Inferno Hellion, I recall being not so great. It's like a one-timer. But it's a decent, if you were defensive, a 7/3 defender for 4 is okay. They can attack once, basically. Probably just take Revitalize. Nothing else here matters. I mean, we take Oracle. Maybe Oracle is just the best card. Robert likes Hired Blade. Yeah, I mean, certainly we take the Flash version over the not Flash version. Is it a pick here just because we're in black a little bit already, Robert? Or would you rather take something a little inherently stronger like Rock's Oracle or generically playable like Revitalize? Phil says, Ryan, do you know if the bot personalities are format specific or client wide, or do they just... I was not part of the personalities execution. I left Wizards and gave them a list of things that I felt they could do to augment the bots and make them better. And personalities was on the list. And I gave light suggestions on how I would implement, but I have no idea how they implemented. But based on how the system was set up when I left, the easiest thing to do would have just been to apply... You could make here's what I would do. I'll put it this way. Here's what I would do if they would ask me to implement that feature. I would say, since the bots are looking at each card as a numerical value on which they're rating it, with the lower the better, I would say randomize within a range. When you put a bot's butt in a seat, define the range of pick. So like plus or minus n picks that a bot will adjust cards based on color, and then just have them do that somewhat arbitrarily within a tight range so it's not absurd. and then you'd get and then adjust that range until you get the variety that you're looking for out of your bots. And that would mean that it is not format specific. It's just that bots are sitting down with randomized inherent color biases. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm okay. I'll take the blade. I mean, the Oracle is just a touch better in the abstract, but we are a little bit into black already, and white black is significantly better than the green decks. So, yeah, I think there's pride mates, right? There's certainly things that grow if you gain life, I think. What do we got? Some bad removal. Bad auras that tempt you into this. This is the type of aura that goes back to more old school LR warnings of like, boy, you're doing high risk, high gain to throw this on something. It doesn't, it might win you the game, but man, when they take it out, if they use one removal spell to take out your Knight's Pledge and whatever it's on, you are in sad town. Nightmare's Thirst, you gain 1 life. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Sure, we'll take that. We're kind of working towards this anyway. Yeah, this is a payoff. You can't run this in anything. Obviously, it gives you -1/-1, but what we want to do is play it after a Bloodletter, you know, and get -2/-2. It's not amazing, but for 1 mana instant, you know, and with a little bit of synergy, you can get there. Here we go. Daybreak Chaplain for some life gain action, but we also have Inspired Charge, which is one of the better go wide payoff finisher cards. I was telling you there's a whole ton of them. There's like there's the red one for 3. I guess the red one for 3 mana that does +2/+0 is a little better. But yeah, we can get Charge later. That's the thing. There's so many of these you don't even have to prioritize them, but like Motivator is also playable in this format because of that. Two-Headed Zombie is subtly playable. You see that 4/2 for 4 and like, ugh. But Menace, you know, Menace says often they have to 2-for-1 themselves to block it, especially if you back it up with something. But we are, you know, we have this Nightmare's Thirst and we're trying to gain life. So let's just take the Chaplain and work the life gain angle here. I don't think this Knight is particularly playable. I guess it is. That's not true. It's playable. It's not particularly good, but it does a thing. You know, 7 is a lot of toughness, right? You could do worse than bringing this in a best of 3 against green, for example, although we are best of 1. Doomed Dissenter. Don't have much sack going on here right now, but you could do worse. Yeah, this is a reasonable turn 1. But it's a little underpowered. You know, if this were a, I mean, easy to say, of course. If this were the Healer's Hawk from GRN, it would be Windmill Slam for this type of deck. But I'm going to take the Dissenter. Trumpet Blast, that's what I was talking about. Another one of your go wide payoffs. Dwarven Priest. Gain some life. We're kind of doing that thing, but this is not exactly what I want to be doing. I might rather have a two-headed zombie, even though this is Dwarven, even though this is kind of on theme. I think this is still a better card. I don't know. It's been a while though. Anybody have opinions on Priest versus Zombie? Maybe I'll ask chat whether they want the 2/4 white or the 4/2 black. So we're going to call it 24 or 42. 24 being the Dwarven Priest, 42 being... Oops, sorry. I meant to... I hope you wanted the zombie, because that's what we're taking. I'm still curious what you all think. I didn't mean to click there. That was a twitchy finger click. I just knew what you all were going to pick, see? Or maybe when you saw me pick it, you're like, well, I might as well vote for it. Man, Tuco. All right, we're never playing Duress main. This is okay in the... Oh, yeah, blue-white artifacts is another supported archetype here. We're going to take this Novice Knight, but I seriously doubt we'll play it. But I don't see anything else here to take. right? How can you not say 42? Perfect pick 10 Child of Night. Just a perfect place to get this card for this deck. Another Knight's Pledge. You can go here and join the Novice Knight. I mean, this is the combo, right? You play, I mean, gotta love the flavor, the sequencing. Design, R&D thinks about all this stuff. You know, let's give new players a nice, clear sequence. Imagine your M19 is your first Magic set, and you read Novice Knight. You're like, okay. Then you read Knight's Pledge, and you're like, I get it! Anyway, I love little design. You know, it's not exciting for us as limited players per se, but I love little design snippets like that because that's a designer thinking about how to bring in new players. Thank you for that sub, Mike. Mike 1976. Glad to have him hanging out on this channel, backing up my decisions or getting me to change mine. Yeah, now that's a late pick, Revitalize. We gotta love that. You know, you can do a lot worse than a 6/5 for 6 mana in black. We already have a 6-drop we're happy with. I'm putting this in the board. We hope not to play it. And yeah, our triggers are few, right? Our rewards are few. Right now we only have Nightmare's Thirst. We need to find some rewards for this life gain payoff, or we're just getting some incidental life gain, which is not very exciting. I will not take the land. And the 3/7 came back. Yay? Question mark? All right, what do we got? Not taking the Clan Caller, obviously. Blood Divination, I remember. Oh, no, this is. I was thinking of a M20 spell. This is not great because you got to sacrifice a creature. Drill Master, okay. But this is just a terrible pack. Ugh. Right? Are we first picking a Falcon? I would dare have a Drill Master, actually. Drill Master's not bad with like Daybreak Chaplain. You know, Chaplain on 2, Drill Master it, attack with a 3/3 lifelinker. We already have a Dissenter, and I don't love it that much without some sack synergies. Like Blood Divination, Doom Dissenter is all well and good, but I would rather just take the Drill Master. Yeah, Hida likes the Blood Divination because of that. We are making some tokens too. Maybe Hida's right. Like, I do like a Drill Master. They're okay. But we do make tokens, and they're pretty easy to sack, yeah. All right, I'm convinced we can take the Blood Divination. It's not amazing, but between the Doomed Dissenter and both our current ability to make tokens and our future desire to get more tokens, I think we can spec on this at least. Fiddle says we don't have time for Divination. I don't remember the format being that ridiculously fast, Fiddles. And if we do get some of the airborne, uncommon, gold Orzhov payoffs, we'll be super happy to be taking some time. Here we go. Both are very appealing for what we're doing. This costs a little more and is a little bit more on theme with the life gain. Again, we don't have the payoffs yet, but I'm thinking we're going to get there. This is instant speed and 1 mana cheaper, but has no synergies. Although, and it's less absolute. You know, I'm going to go ahead and take the more expensive, clunkier one because it ties into what we hope to be our deck's synergies payoffs. Here we go. This is not a great payoff, actually, but it is one of them. I think we'll take it because the other black-white options are not exciting. Supplier, not really what we're about here. Waltz is always fine. Probably just take a Waltz. Symbiont. Did I pass something that was an option? Is a Symbiont in our colors? If it was not in our colors, I probably wasn't looking at it closely. We'll take Waltz. Reassembling Skeleton is another sacrifice outlet, sacrifice thing. We're not actually doing that much sacrifice, though. That being said, this also buys time. and feels like we're getting away from being like an actual go wide charge deck. I'm going to take the skeleton and continue to try and find our way to the payoffs. Shield Mare, probably going to get in our deck. I can't remember what it does. Can't be blocked by red creatures. When it enters the battlefield, okay, it's got some life gain, so there you go. I like this better than the dwarf anyway. It's got double white, which is a little more oppressive, but... Oh yeah. I didn't look at the horror because I consider the horror largely unplayable. Ostensibly, it attacks like a 4-2, but not a good one. This attacks like a good 4-2, and the other one attacks like a bad 4-2, and then it doesn't block like a 4-2 at all. Yeah, we might take an Axe for this deck also because Axe plus lifelink creatures is decent. And we do have Child of Night and Daybreak. We'll take Shield Mare here. Still looking for some payoffs, though, and they're not really coming, so that's not great, gotta be honest. And I don't like really anything I'm seeing here. Infernal Scarring, Enchantment. We could take this. It goes with a sacrifice thing, but Sovereign's Bite isn't really playable. Here's that horror that I was saying. I mean, the upside of this is that losing 2 life without them even being able to block is some reach, but it just ends up being too underpowered to be worth a slot, even though it does have some application as a unstoppable source of a couple points of damage just by attacking. Then we were looking at Pack Beast. Pack Beast enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from graveyard to hand. That's more the blue-white thing in this set. Good spec on the Pack Beast. I mean, there's not much. Nothing. It's really in spec on the Inspired Chart or spec on the Pack Beast. Nothing else is worth considering. But I think, Mike, we are unlikely to end up with a density of artifacts that are going to make us happy to run this. I'm going to take an Inspired Charge. You can even run this as a combat trick, and it's fine. I mean, it's not great. 4-mana combat trick, not great. But point is, you don't need to be going wide to justify running it. Here we'll take a pretty weak 3-1. I talk about bellwether cards in draft, especially when new formats come out. Hey, neat. Going optimal and Nantuko says to me, can confirm that Cube is now working on the drafting site. We should totally do that next week. Yeah, I'd be in for that. Bellwether, Pocket Nebula asked what I mean by that. It means like a sign of what is to come for a set, right? So when I say that 3 1s for 1 and a white as a common in a Magic set for limited is a bellwether type of card because it takes some understanding of a format to understand whether or not this is playable or not in a given format, or what kind of upside it needs to be playable. For example, turns out in Theros Beyond Death, the exile a card from the graveyard, Death Trigger, is quite a significant addition to this card, right? Like, you would not play this. You wouldn't play Oreskos Swiftclaw in Theros with anywhere near the regularity that I play the Graveyard Exiler, because that's so important. And another big important thing for whether a 3-1 is decent is whether the format is producing a lot of 1/1 tokens on the ground that can block. And in this case, the answer is yes. There's a lot of 1/1s running around here. I'm checking in on chat about Magnet Man's Cube. Yeah, I want to be looking at powered versions. I think no rares is a good place to start, especially because Magnet Man, you give people a template they can work from. I think that's fantastic. But I'd love to work towards a rare cube. I think that's what, when it comes down to it, that's what really gets the juices flowing for people in cube land. Anyway, we're going to take this and understand that it's lower than usual quality. Hey, pick 9, the Drill Master came back, and we were thinking about opening on the old Drill Master, so I think I'll take that here. We do have some space in our upper end. Like we have room at 3, but you take like an axe. But yeah, Drill Master's fine. We need a good pack 3 though. I gotta say, we've really had we found black and white to be fairly open. I think we've gotten good cards for it. We just have not found the payoffs yet. I'm going to take Meandering River in case we decide to splash. And by the way, I don't know if anybody from Wizards is watching but I love formats now that include ETB tapped duels in the basic land slot, but not at the 1 gate per pack level. I love the M19, M20. There's some of them in here, but they're not flooded in here. But yeah, we'll take this. Yeah, Tron, I didn't choose it. We'll take Invoke. We'll run a main deck of Invoke. Usually find a target, and there's actually some life gain on this one as well. Supplier. Another charge. This is why Red, White, Go Wide was just so good, is like you just pick up these game winners at pick 13, you know? I don't think we're going to be running this. We're doing a little bit of sacrifice, but I don't think we're going to find a spot for that. Sad Gin of Wishes makes me wish we were in blue, but we're not, so we're going to pass that. Rise from the Grave, classic, underwhelming 5-mana reanimate spell. It is a graveyard, which is the one thing to be sure to look at that when you check these types of cards out. Is it your graveyard or a graveyard? And obviously you want a graveyard. Meanwhile, Courser, one of the better white cards in this set. So we're going to snap this up pretty easily. No competition at all in the pack, really. But Courser, was this the first place we saw a Courser? Maybe not. Maybe this card has been around for longer than M19, but the 3-mana flyer that attacks and lifts up something else to fly is a really powerful Magic card. Speaking of that, we can get another Stag or some more removal. Probably just want more removal. Stag is nice, but killing stuff. Let me tell you, killing stuff. Valorous. I am feeling Valorous double Ds, but I'm not feeling it as much as I want that sweet, sweet Lich's Caress. Really? Valor's fine, but it's not important. Maybe if it gave the enchanted creature first strike, I would like this more. It's worth playing. It's just not important, right? I think that was the right way to put it. I didn't call this unplayable. I didn't even call it bad. I don't think it's important. Sun Cleanser. I recall this having, this is a classic vanilla test moment. All right, let's remember at our baseline here, we're at a 1/4 for 2 with no drawback. So given that, then remove counters from a creature and remove counters from an opponent. Almost never comes into play, so this is kind of like a 1/4 vanilla. But that in of itself could be playable if not for the fact that we have a Skeleton Archer, which is good. We're just gonna take an Archer. Also, look at our curve. Like, we're probably not playing 2 Inspired Charges, so we wouldn't mind adding a 4-drop, quality 4-drop to the pile. Oh no, Mensch, that is sad. So sorry. Oh, I forgot Luminous Bonds was in the set. But we're going to take it here, of course, and maybe try and wheel this, although we're pick 4, pack 3, and we have, like, no life gain payoffs yet, so I'm thinking the whole life gain thing is kind of a bust, which is sad. But maybe we'll get lucky here in the few remaining picks, but yeah, I mean, we really needed something here. Kind of a bummer of a result, if we're being honest here. I think we had a pretty reasonable draft all the way through, and just did not get delivered any kind of chunk of the expected life gain payoffs that you would think to see before the end of an M19 draft. I'm going to go ahead and take a curve filler and drop it in the board. Great, more pay. I mean, we'll take it. I'm not gonna like this is a 5-mana 4-power flyer, so that's pretty cool, and I'm happy to get it 6. But it's just funny because it's more life gain with no payoffs. Yeah, there's enough going on that it will. This is fine. It's a bunch of fine cards doing okay things. We just didn't get any broken synergies. Maybe a leap here over a falcon. Yeah, let's get a combat trick. And here's... we're not playing a pack. Whatever, I'll take it. I don't care about a little vault progress. Sure, yet another life gain. I don't think we're playing this one. All the priests. I guess I'll take a falcon so we can have it as an option in our choices. Maybe we do want to charge wide here. All right. We got exactly one payoff. This Nightmare's Thirst. Woo! We are really going to do wonders with this Nightmare's Thirst. Maybe Robert. I don't know. I don't have enough. I'm not tied into this set enough anymore to understand how close we were to being correct to be elsewhere. But yeah, Epicure is another payoff, I suppose. Let me cut that. 1610. I just cut a Swift Claw. Yeah, I like one Inspired Charge. Yeah, let's cut the Revitalize. Good call, Mike. We don't have the payoffs. Paul with the... Oh, this is a different account. So I'll save your... for those of you who used your votes, your channel points to get stuff, and I don't have anything... I have nothing here. So, Paul, we'll use your Art Deco sleeves on the afternoon chat battle, okay? Oops. Yeah, we can cut Invoke as well. I think that's fine. Let's be a little more proactive. 9-8. Do we like that? I think I like 8-9 with the Shield Mare and the Inspired Charge and the Herald. Not sure how the algorithm came up with the other way. Do anybody choose lands? Oh, Nebula did. Did you name your lands, Nebula? I forget. Oh, yeah, we should look. No. You can also do the same thing. If you want to save your channel points for this afternoon with more options, we can do that. Oh, somebody was also pointing out on YouTube comments that if I wanted to, let's say you wanted War of the Spark lands, I can sort to War of the Spark to, like, find the lands from a given set quickly. So that's cool. Thank you for that suggestion. Eldraine it is. Ah, sorry about that. That's not what I wanted to cut. You get back in there, champ. And I'll try the trick. Let's go Throne of Eldraine. And I get to pick, I guess. Or now, if Nebula, if you see this in time, you can pick. I'll pick what I think is the prettiest, though. I like that one. And then, ooh, that's cool. That one's nice, though. Let's go with this one. I can't find any Eldraine cards here. All right. We have no life gain payoff, so I kind of want to. I've got no life joke, but we have life. Gaining to nowhere. I don't know. No gain, no pain. Gain is pain. How about gain is pain? Because that's not true. Gain is pain. And then I'm going to make it Epicure. Unless somebody, I didn't see. If somebody has a deck box, let me know and I'll swap it out. So I did switch to my free-to-play 2 account to play today because I didn't want to use main account resources on a set that I didn't care about acquiring. We'll keep this. Chaplain on 2 and Letter on 3. White-blue artifacts is what we're expecting here. Pretty aggro start from Oppo, but I like. But we've got Chaplain, and hey, look, one of our 2 payoffs. I'm just going to go for the Bloodletter here. We could wait and try to get more action out of the Nightmare Thirst, but yeah, we could do that. We could also do, but we get that out of Shieldmare as well. Like we can do Shieldmare to get 3, and then Thirst becomes -4/-4 for a single black mana, which is like modern quality removal. So that's cool. So we'll just do that later and start with the Bloodletter here, or the Bloodletter. Mayor also powers up. I don't know what you mean by that, Mike. Powers up? So I'm gonna drop a Shieldmare, attack with everything, and see if they want to double block. They do, and we'll get the blowout. Epicure into Champion is very nice. Pretty close. I think we missed a 1 drop, but we had a 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 plus 1, 5, 6. So yes, we've used every bit of mana except for our first turn. And I'll do this. Yeah, they got a counter for it. I guess I could have gone with Resembling Skeleton in out of fear for that. We do have a Macabre Waltz, though, so we have ability to get that back. Bummer that this 3-5 is successfully holding off our whole team, though, except for the Bloodletter. But, and also this fountain is making so the Bloodletter's really not making a ton of progress. Mike suggests trading one of our 3s for a lot of damage. I know I'm not quite ready to do that, but I think we're going to get there. Like with Reassembling Skeleton, adding an extra on, then it gets 6 damage. That gets more appealing. The Chaplain is going to hit for lifelink, and so that's another damage. This is going to attack. Oh no, sorry, this doesn't do an attack trigger. Anyway, I think well, this makes it a little worse, but it can still only kill a skeleton that we can get back. All right, that obviously makes things a lot more interesting. I'm going to do what looks like a Desperation attack all, and we'll probably lose the Epicure here, but hopefully it takes out the Guardian along with it. Oh, I leave this back, though. It's too... even with charge, it doesn't do anything. We could just accept this. Both of these are going to die anyway. Well, the skeleton could survive if we don't fire this off. Obviously, the Chaplain's going to die no matter what. But I would rather just... this is fine. We'll accept this. We can get the Skelly back. And then charge is still good for next turn. Well, Oppo's got some combos going on, but I don't love the deck. I mean, without the Thopterist doing actual work with this stuff, it's pretty weak, which has been the problem with the artifact strategy, frankly. If you don't have something like a Thopterist to actually give you the payoff, I find the payoffs to be pretty weak. Well, yeah, Tron, I mean, like, eye roll, right? We're going to lose to a Millstone because they've got a Thopterist. I mean, this is classic. This is making a bad card okay, which you don't want to do, but Oppo's doing it, and it's working this time. We kind of need our Macabre Waltz or something to get some value back of our own. Maybe the Bloodletting. Kill this Sky March and draw 3. Love that. If I had to top my list of cards I don't want, Swamp would be number 1 and Plains would be number 2. I'm going to save the Plains, but not the other Plains, because if we do find card draw, we're going to want as much land out as we have. Now, though, do we have the Inspired Charge play? I guess we do, because we still are looking to force them to block the Epicure with stuff. Are you ready to lose the Shield Mare, though, Mike? Because if we do... because we can make a 4/4 Shield Mare, but it's still going to die. What is it? How do we win from there, though, Mike? I don't know. I'm going to pass, Mike. I don't think it's right to attack. We're at 25. They're at 9. We'd be giving up the Shield Mare if they make that block again, if they just let the Epicure go through. And then what have we accomplished? Like, almost nothing, except losing a Shield Mare. Whereas if we can find our Ray's dead and get Lena back and resolve Lena, then we're going to be so happy that we kept this charge for that. So I'm going to stay patient for a couple turns at least. Well, sure, they might block badly. Is the best chance of us winning making a move in which we're hoping that Oppo screws up? Sometimes it is. Sometimes you get to a point in the game where your only out is Oppo punt, right? And you go for that. But I just don't think our best out is Oppo punt. We have some really live draws, and I want to give myself a couple turns to try and find them. Trouble is we're also against Fountain of Renewal and Arcane Encyclopedia, and even eventually Millstone, right? Like, so we don't have forever, but I would like to take a couple more draws at finding the thing that really unlocks our capability to win. Like a Bonds. I didn't even think about that one, but this is perfect, because now we can stop the 5-5, and if they don't counter it. Let's see if they have a counter. All right. Now we can get back to attacking. This one creature was basically representing our opponent's entire stability plan. I'm going to use it now. It saves the Shield Mayor, and for what it's worth, the skeleton. Doesn't kill Psy, but still worth doing. Surprised they didn't do that in response to the pacifism effect, in case they had something for that. I suppose, Mike, maybe we could have gone it again, but like we did remove one of their blockers and keep one of our attackers and got 2 damage. So that's reasonable, right? Kept a creature, killed one of theirs, got 2 damage. I think that's all right for 4. Milled the draw, so goes. Huh. All right. That's true. Okay, so we saved our creature and got 2 damage. You're right, Mike. Of course, we get life gain after they've swapped for our 4/4. And we don't really have attacks. This is really annoying. That was a good switcheroo, Oppo, because we kind of had you without that. God, I don't want to lose to this deck. I'm sorry. But the only thing I respect about what Oppo's doing so far is the Thopterist. Oh my god. This is okay too, but god, I don't want to lose to this deck. Oppo, if you come to check this out, sorry for being disrespectful, but I don't like this deck. Yeah, Switcheroo's good. Obviously. Really wrecked us there. Really, Chicken? You liked Mono Millstone? Maybe I'm the one who doesn't understand the format. It's quite possible. I'm only saying that I don't like the deck. Yeah, we gotta kill that blocker, huh? And then we have decent attacks again. I mean, the Child of Night just suicides, but we can attack with the... No, we can't. Never mind. We do kill it, but we don't get anywhere with this. Not really. Also, I don't love my deck that much either, Oppo. So I'm saying I don't like your deck, but I don't even like mine that much. So who's talking? It does stop the Thopter Factory, which is going to be quite real. Although we can block it. What are we looking for here? We're a little bit stalled. We've lost our big card draw, but we could get, I guess we're still looking for like Starcrown Stag or the Waltz, right? There's a Skeleton Archer. We're also getting clocked by the Fountain each turn. I mean, we're 26, so we're pretty healthy as far as that goes. This is still annoying as far as this goes. Maybe I'm just being salty. I still don't like Millstone as a strategy, but it's certainly going to get the work done here. We'll play this. We got to build out our board in hopes that this plus... Oh, yeah, counter it. Please counter it. I don't even care. We have so many more important creatures to cast. If we get our Macabre Waltz milled, I'm going to scoop. I think it's our only hope. So we need it like... We need to draw a Macabre Waltz off the top-ish. And we have another Caress, too. I suppose caressing the Epicure would give us attacks. So killing the Epicure also be good. For only having 8 cards in our library, we have a lot of good draws. Also, this is a very good card in this format. If you're blue artifacts, the Gearsmith Guardian is a 5/5 for 5, does a lot of the work you want the deck to do. So I do respect that card quite a bit. Just don't want to lose our key cards, but that's one of them. That's one of them, honestly, right there. That would have been great. But we get the Waltz, we can get that back. Okay, Caress. Well, again, this was when we they only had one big thing down, but we'll go ahead and Caress our, I guess, our own Epicure. I guess we do this. Yeah, we couldn't really. It was the first Gearsmith. We had a nice attack going, and then they played a 3/5 that held us back for about 3 or 4 turns, and the 3 or 4 turns in which the Guardians did incredible defense against like 3 creatures on our side, that was enough to keep us from sealing the deal. You say that, but what if we get back? Even if we get back our thing that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/1s, and we had that Herald of Faith. Man, we had some good cards still left in our deck. Unreal. GG, Oppo. Good luck with that the rest of the way. Yes, I'm a little salty. I don't like losing to decks like that. Really don't. But I'll get over it. A little salt, and then move on, you know. Oh, I don't get to lie about my record, though. That's just wishful thinking. Just habit. Force a habit of putting the win in. Maybe so, Mike, but I used the Thirst at a time where they had no board and we blew them out with it, right? I mean, are you serious? Because, like, if they don't drop a 3/5, like, we used the Thirst, completely cleared their board and had 3 creatures to their none, and then they dropped a 3/5 and it was good enough, but if they hadn't had the 3/5 there, we would have been in great shape, I think. Yeah, but to clear the way, it was a 2-for-1 that cleared our way for attacking. I mean, you're good, Mike. If you think we should be patient there, we'll talk about it next time. But I didn't hear you leaping out and saying, no, don't attack and go for the 2-for-1. I mean, you certainly didn't say hold at the time. Are you saying in hindsight you're realizing now that we should have, or at the time where you're like, I don't know about this? Okay. All right, thanks. I didn't see. I was like, I didn't know. I was just literally asking, not trying to get you. Are we keeping this? This is Caress is strong. Zombie, like, we're just starting on 3, but Oppo's going first. I'm going to keep. So Mike played more patiently with his removal in that last game, and maybe it paid off for him. What do we then? What happens? We probably get the. Do you think you'd have saved it for Psy? Do you think because then because we still get our flyer nullified. If we don't blow them out with the 2-for-1 on the ground, while they don't have the 3/5 holding down the fort, they still have both the creatures that we left behind. So they still have a 2/1 and a 2/2 clogging the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is the payoff we wanted, right? This is what we were looking for. All draft. Boy, now I'm getting salty again. But even if we did, yeah, still may not have gotten there. You may be right though that a little some patience would have been better. But our flyer was going to get reduced, and then we wouldn't have had many attacks anyway, I don't think. Unfortunately, we did not find a play for turn 2. I hate that. But we'll drop a Shield Mare. Make him gain some life or hold back that Pride Mate. We could just keep the Mighty Leap, but with the Hired Blade, which I think it was Robert and Antuco who had said they had some success with in their M19 experience. So we're going to try and hope they don't gain any life and get the Pride Mate on the attack here. That's a fine trade right there. Also allows us to pick off anything they... Well, we need another mana first, but we can caress anything that might trigger their Majesty. I think we do a no value... Oh, we can ping their face, so it's slight... No, we can just go two-headed zombie. So we'll attack and go two-headed zombie. Yeah, novice knight is going to get this talons, and then we're going to caress it. I guess we'll do that next turn. Well, again, we still got to find it. I guess maybe we bonds it, but I don't want. Oh yeah, I guess if they put this on it, it doesn't trigger Colossal Majesty, which is the main thing. And we get to swing in with the Shield Mayor. They block, and we archer it anyway. So this should be nice. Oh, okay, they're playing it very safe there. That's fine. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and archer anyway because they're going to novice. They're going to enchant the knight. And then you want to use the... Yeah, I'm going to archer anyway, Mike. Yeah, okay. We want to use caress on things that trigger majesty and bonds on things that don't. And we can't cast caress yet anyway, so we'll bonds up and go. Yep, that's another good point. Although if Mike, this had made it a 4/4, like if the Talons of Wildwood had made this a 4/4, I think we would want to get it off the board because of this. These are these. So this literally did nothing. Colossal Majesty. It's not unplayable. I'm not saying Oppo was wrong to play it. I'm just pointing out the swinginess of a card like that. And that's why, you know, that's why I like to look at them from a divination lens. That's why divination is my baseline comparison point for card draw spells, even ones not in blue or whatever, just as a way to say, okay, what do we generally think of divination and how does this compare to that effect, you know? All right, picked up a win in the loser's bracket. Let's see how many more times we can do that. Double Caress and a Dissenter. I'll keep this. We got both colors of our mana, 2 good removal spells, and something to do on 2. What about Mighty Leap and Child? Silverwood? I mean, just because it's just to spend a card to make 4 points of damage and 4 points of life? I mean, if 2 mana in a card is worth 4-point drain, then yes, but I don't want to use that just because it's available. I'm going to go ahead and send in Dissenter. If they want to block, we get a 2/2, and I don't think they will. We have a Shield Mayor on the block anyway. Mike wanted to leave this back to prevent attacking, but this has got can't be blocked except by spirits, so we weren't going to be able to block it anyway. So even the Shield Mayor as blocker doesn't really matter. This is effectively unblockable. I remember this being one of the really powerful, nice places to get, you know, nice blue uncommons, right? 2/2 for 2 that's effectively unblockable in the format. Gloves on an unblockable thing is pretty strong. I wonder why they didn't attack. Are they not reading their own card? I mean, we don't have... This can't block, right? Yeah. What you want to do? Sad, full grip of 5s when we have 4. Hate doing... Nothing on 4 is pretty bad in Magic. Especially limited. Yeah, at least they spent a lot of their cycles getting to this place. They're stuck on land, and we're gonna get rid of this thing. Although they drew, I think they played a land and then drew, so they may have another land all ready to go. Deckhand is what? Read close. Don't worry, I don't read cards either, but I did remember this one. There's only like one other spirit in the whole format is the thing. I think it's rare. With 6 mana, we can not double spell, but I don't think it's worth caressing the Wind Mage. So yeah, let's swing and just drop our Epicure. Ooh, clever. Good play from Oppo. We do get a 2/2 back out of it, but I will drop this. Ah, bonds. Well, I'm going to bonds the Wind Mage and play the Child of Night and then caress next turn. The only thing I don't like about these lands is the gold border treatment. The lattice work gold border nonsense around the mana. Like, I don't like that. I think if they took away all the gold lines on these, they'd be great. Well, I was all about killing this mare and getting in for a lot, but I guess we got to kill the sea serpent instead. Yep, still get in for a good amount. Divination, not the best card for us right now, but maybe we'll find action for it. Wow. Sometimes you feel like you're plugged into the Matrix. This isn't good yet, but maybe we'll find Reassembling Skeleton. Let's go ahead and try this. Okay, there was a pause. Of course, they have a pump here, so they can make this a 2/3. We'll keep that in mind. Wish this was an instant. Yeah, so we gotta go, and because they have to block the Epicure, right? So we get to crash in and force the Epicure block. Ah, good one for Oppo. But we have this follow-up with them tapped out, so that's nice. Not much action for our 3 cards, but it did get these 3 cards off the top of our library. Well, that kind of sucked. But let's go Chaplain. skeleton. And we have Child of Night that could reduce this to a 2/2, but I think we just pass the turn here, try to draw something, untap the skeleton, and maybe get a better all-in attack. Yeah, that'll contribute nicely if we can resolve it. No guarantees there, but we'll try. Well, we're up against another encyclopedia that's going to beat us single-handedly if we don't find some action. I mean, we found some action, but they 1-for-1'd it, and if Oppo's going to 1-for-1 our action, we're going to lose because they're drawing cards. Mike wants to swing all anyway. Can't we get a better attack than that? Maybe I should have, Mike. I'm sorry, I should have thought that through a little bit, but feel like we're still short of a good attack when we have lots of cards in the deck that turn it into great attack. So I guess I'm holding out hope for now it's a great attack. So if we swing here, they have they can pump this twice. They can get this as high as a 4/1 for whatever reason they wanted to, but mainly they can make this a 2/3. Then we can thirst it down to a 1/2, which is likely to win combat against whatever it would choose to block at that point. But that means the Meteor Golem then gets a free meal somewhere if we do that. But we do get in for some damage, and we have the Hired Blade to flash in. Still like the... you like the swing in, Mike? We'll probably have to choose whether to let something eat... Let the mayor eat something. And they lose... We have to choose whether the golem or the mayor gets to eat something. The mayor. The mayor gets to eat something. Right. So what do you think of that, Mike? Mike's done the calculus. If we swing, we lose 2 and they should lose 1, and we get 2 to 3 damage of their 5 life. Is that worth it with a blade coming? So let's say they go to 5, 4, 3, 2. They go to like 2 or 3, and we have 3 creatures. I guess they get to pump and draw, so that doesn't change anything. It's pretty likely they're gonna get help though, Mike. That's why it's like, I mean, we could play the patience game. If we found a Pegasus off the top, we'd be happy with that. But then again, we'd be happy with a Pegasus off the top, even if we did do this attack in. So I think I will do it. The cards that we would draw that would make this situation good for us continue to be good draws, even with a even with some collateral damage happening here. And this is interesting though, because right now, we could just accept the Meteor Golem. Yeah, actually, I'm going to accept this because if they do nothing, we trade a token and a Nightmare's Thirst for the Meteor Golem, and that seems good. If they activate, then we can decide what to do for that. All right, so now they're setting this up, and we're in more of a choice pick situation. And I think we reduced this. Well, no. I think we reduced the... Yeah, Thirst EOT at this point. Yeah, Mike's right. There was no reason to do anything right there because... Oops. Except I forgot where I was at on my timer. Yes. It's funny, though. You'd think these would be the ones that tilt me the most, but they're the ones that I'm just like, I'm streaming. It happens. It's not making me a better or worse Magic player. It's just what happens to me sometimes while streaming. I get way more salty at facing a deck I don't like and losing, you know? All right, Stag is nice. I will say, you guys who, I don't know, whatever. No, I'm moving on. Moving on. Moving on. Hey, Alf. Alpha. What's up? Man. All right, I'm never drafting M19 again. I hate this format. It has nothing to do with the fact that I keep getting hammered on by oppos. Nothing means zero rants, Mike. There is nothing in my life ever that means zero rants. What a tilty week of Magic for me, though. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's been a rough week of results. I'm just gonna have to take it out on chat this afternoon. And we still might win this one. I mean, I'm getting all salty in games that I'm still in, so there's that. We got 9 cards left, though, so Herald's got to work or we're in for it. But if they don't have an answer for the Herald with this draw or in their hand, I think we get this because we get to use Nightmare Thirst as an instant after Herald gains 2 to -3/-3 the dragon and get there. Maybe we'll get him. I'm going to go full control just in case. Yeah, Zebra, I think it should let us, but just in case, I'm going to go full control. I guess it's during attacks, and it actually doesn't pause for you during attacks, does it? So full control was important here. Decidedly average, Alpha. Nothing. It's not bad. There's some people who said they really hate this format. I found it just, it's like, I would describe it as very whatever. Razor's worried about our level of cases. Oh, are we dead? Did they get us? I told you it was a deck. I told you it was a deck. F M19. That's how rich I am. You think that was crazy? You think that was crazy? I'm rich, bitch! All right. That makes me feel better. Now I'm not even tilty. Now I'm happy. Look at me. The tilt is gone. That's all I needed to do. Yeah, F that set. I'm not going to ask you to vote for M19 anymore. We're not playing it anymore. Don't ask. We're not doing it. Wizards, take it away and never bring it back. Yeah. I'm gonna finish this. Let's see if I can actually 7-win this instead. I'm gonna go to Soapbox though, and say goodbye to YouTube friends. Actually, you know what? Look, YouTube, why don't you hang out? Since I cost you at least one more game of awesome M19, I'm gonna keep this part on the YouTube video, and we will play this final game of this deck together at least. And yeah. So this is just this deck has leaned heavily on the double nightmare. As I said, it's the salt talking when I say M19 is bad. What I've said with no salt attached was that it's just a whatever, right? Like but I expect better than whatever at this point. Like when we have stuff that's not whatever, I don't want to play whatever. And this set is a lot more interesting and fun. So let's try this. All right, I am never typing M19 into my format choice again. How nice. We want THB. And we are 6-1 here. Trying to find 7. Yeah, I didn't use the word bad, I used the word whatever. Maybe I said bad in salt mode, but in non-salt mode, my opinion of M19 is that it's whatever. We'll keep this. Got a 2, got a 3. Even got the 1 mana sacrifice outlet for the portent I'm running. Yeah, I saw it was Tron does not like the format. Tron is in the bad camp on it. But maybe Tron and I feel the same way about it, and it's just that Tron sees the unacceptable nature of a mediocre format as making that format actively bad. It's up to you, Nantuko. If everybody's ready, I'm happy to go. I don't want to force anybody to be ready sooner than they promised they would be ready. But I'm ready to go, Nantuko. If you want to switch gears and go to Dom draft, let's do it. Yeah, so that's fine. We'll kill time until noon. I'll either start another draft or we can play old draft decks, warming up. I'll ask people what they want to do. We'll do that. But basically, you can gather people, and as soon as we're ready, we'll go. Happy to have you, Pantoons, Pantoons, Pantoons. I love trying to figure out where people are coming from with their names. Well, I sure would love to nightmare something or steal something, but Oppo is not cooperating by playing something. Do you have no wild cards? I mean, you don't. Here's the thing: if you're worried about not having Dom cards, you probably just need, like, you want a couple of mythic wild cards and 4 rare wild cards, and you'd be covered for anything you realistically end up with. I see. Well, 0 is not 4. What is Shady doing? This is the 6-1 bracket, and our opponent has done stone nothing for 5 turns. None of these do anything pre-combat, so I'm going to start with an attack. Yeah, what board wipe? I guess there's the rare red one. But this survives it, so I guess I'll throw out the War Leader. And then if they kill it, we have Omen for it. Storm's Wrath sure makes sense for a 6-1 deck. Manticore is worth stealing and sacking here. Let's just take it. We're also way ahead on life. If they kill our Lampad in response, we can't sack it. Oh, interesting. Oh, they could have just taken out the Lampad and then we wouldn't be able to take it back. So I will sack for some life drain, and then we can attack an Omen. I want to nightmare them for something. Well, I guess technically we can Nightmare zombie token. Not super exciting. Oh, you're looking for the name of that site? Well, it's on all of my YouTube videos now. I'm going to just give my YouTube channel because if you look at any recent video in the notes, there should be something called All Human Draft, and then the site is listed there. Thank you, Sengir. Oh, thanks. Mama made a link channel. Nice. Gonna go ahead and do the nightmare on the 2/2. Not super exciting, but it puts pressure on them to use whatever non-creature stuff they have in their hand right away, so that's all right. Sand wants to know how to get in on the draft action. You talk to Nantuko or Mama, and join our Discord and join the conversation in the Discord. All right. That's too bad, but we're still using Elspeth's Nightmare to make them waste and infuriate, basically. We could also Fateful End here, but I don't see the need to do that either. Nah, forget it. They can have this. I mean, it's just whatever. I'm just not attacking this turn, and we'll play a Soul Reaper. I don't see the point of doing that, of killing it here. And if they go for the flyer right now, we can draw a card. It becomes a 3/3. Or sorry, it becomes a 2/2. Then we cast the Fateful End. It becomes a 3/3, and we can still kill it. And chewing up their whole graveyard is going to be great for us next turn. And yeah, let's just Fateful End right now. Final Death, great. And I'm going to go with Oracle now and pass. And then Aspirant next turn with a... Oh, I should have gone Aspirant. Here's why I should have gone Aspirant, because I'm going to miss out on Nightmare counter on it. Mike missed it too, at least. Makes me feel better. If we play the Aspirant first, we get a counter on it with a Nightmare. So that's too bad. But we'll get a lot of counters on this, I think. No. I rage quit at 1 and 2. At least get the record right. And was it even rage quit? I think it was just smart. I think it was just smart quit at 1 and 2. Yeah, we could also have put a stop on and sacked it in response. But I don't want to do that because I actually do want to exile their graveyard. Bottom. Show me bottom. One top, one bottom. Let's see what they found. Oh, good point, Haj. Trigger goes on the stack, you can still sack. I was not thinking of the timing. Very good. Mike and Haj in with the correction. It's one of the ways to win at M19 Intangible. I'm not going to say it's the only way. There are people who like it. Smart from Oppo. They are just getting their favor out of the graveyard ahead of the exiling of the graveyard, so when it falls back in, they can maybe use it later. True enough. Lots of reasons a blood aspirant would have been good. Weird that they're offering this. Because we can block and get rid of the favor. Is that worth it? Do we want to trade... If we had played Blood Aspirant instead of the Oracle, we could untap, and with the Elspeth's Nightmare 3rd chapter trigger on the stack, sacrifice it to ping the favored zombie and exile the favor. Interesting. I'm going with the Mike line of just taking 4 here. That's fine. That's true. But we could have sacked in response to save. It just means they kill something else, Hida. We'd have to choose what to die. Like one of these two, probably the Soul Reaper. And 6 mana total. We can go Aspirant with Omen activation, or we can have Final Death up. We didn't have the tap and mana up. No, but that would have been for our upkeep. We had all we needed to do was sacrifice something with the Lampad, Mike. We go Lampad, sack, and whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So with the 1 mana, we sack the Soul Reaper, and this becomes a 2/2. And then if they put this on, it becomes a 4/1. Now, that being said, so I actually think I like in this spot sending in Oracle. Let's send in Soul Reaper. Oop, no. I don't have the Aspirant out, but if they block, I'm not sacking anything anyway. I would trade the Reaper for the Slaughter. That's why I didn't think it was important to play the Aspirant pre-combat, because there was no blocking situation that was going to cause me to sack anything anyway. But now I like doing this and passing and holding up. Charger don't block. Oh, for the turn, sure, yeah. Over Final Death, gotcha. Sequencing was not your concern. So I don't see why I want to just take more here. They can sack, they can, I know they can get some damage, but we get to, like we could scry, but we could also just sack it to the Blood Aspirant and kill this zombie. This is summoning 6, so we can't scry for take out the 4/1. I don't know how scrying takes out the 4/1. I'm gonna just say go ahead and do your worst. Now, scry or sack to the aspirant to kill zombie. I think it's more important to sack and kill the zombie than scry. So I'm gonna do that. Too bad we drew a land, but with the land we can final death and sack to the aspirant. Do we want to take out that zombie? I guess not. We just send in the Soul Reaper again. Because I don't want to trade Oracle for zombie when we have a pump on defense that we might want to use. And I'm leaving... I could do it now while shields are down. Wow, okay. But I like that we can get... This could potentially be a 3-3 if we're willing to sacrifice, say, the Lampad or the Oracle. Mike doesn't want him to sack in response. I guess I don't care if they sack in response. Because then, like, we're probably final deathing the priest anyway, so let him do it. Right? Also, just, yeah, having this possibly be a 3-3, I think is important. Yeah, they're not going to escape this anytime soon. I wasn't too worried about the Charger. I was just happy it doesn't block. So then now we could block... How do I want to block? I'm going to block just like this, actually. And then we'll take 3, and we're going to exile the Slaughter Priest. If Oracle blocks Priest, they're just going to... I guess we do it to make him do it. I mean, we're going to kill this thing anyway, so sure, let's make him do it. That's true. I could have made him sack it, and then we kill the Hound, but I think we still have that play anyway. Maybe I didn't do this blocking perfectly, but I think we're going to be okay. Now, final the Slaughter Priest. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we just have them. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all didn't get to see the draft and all the games up to this, but you did see that my week hasn't been entirely futile. My week hasn't been entirely devoid of winning. So with that win, I hope you enjoyed that game of M19 YouTube. We will catch you again next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.